Hello, and welcome to another episode of Short Stories with Stefan, a reading rainbow runway roller coaster dedicated to bringing you fictional fun in the fantastic form of free internet content. Let's dive into today's story, a spooky telling of trespassing and mystery. Slivers of sunlight burn between the cracks of clouds on this overcast day. The suburban houses lining the streets have a yellowish blur as you drive by, muddying the individuality between residents. A towering structure disappears behind even higher hills, a location known to the locals as the plant. It has one road in and one road out, and if you walk all the way to the beginning of the entrance, all you will see is more road leading into far-reaching hills which gobble up the road after a swift right turn. The mystery shrouding the plant started 15 years ago when Mr. McGlaw said he witnessed a beast made of shadows tearing into a human body near a fence on the furthest southwest corner of the property. He pleaded with the local police to investigate, to look into the sighting. When they followed Mr. McGlaw to the spot he said the incident took place, the fence was pulled back, according to him, multiple yards, and these plants had been put in there to make him look like a liar. Needless to say, he was dismissed, and he retreated to his home to start a holy war against the plant. He has blogged about the plant. He's done independent research, taken photos and videos, done interviews, and more since that sighting. He lost friends, family, and eventually, his dog passed away. Mr. McGlaw is now visited daily by Kelly, a local nurse who hopes to one day save up enough to start a career in filmmaking, specifically documentary filmmaking. While working, Kelly listens to Mr. McGlaw as he tells his stories, reads his reports, and urges her to stay far away from that place, as he now calls it. Kelly is the only person who visits him these days, and she takes pity on him. She sees his loneliness as a deliberate act of abandonment by his community. A loner and survivor of abandonment herself, Kelly enjoys listening to him, and in turn, telling him about her stories, projects, and dreams. Today, she is flabbergasted by the birthday present she now holds from Mr. McGlaw. He tells her her life is too short to not begin building her dreams into reality right now. She looks over the very expensive drone she had been telling him about for months, and tears well up into streams of gratitude. Thanking Mr. McGlaw, she finishes up her shift and then immediately takes the drone out for a fly. She's standing against her car in a cul-de-sac when the drone gets a mind of its own. Ignoring the commands of her controller, it flies headfirst towards some unknown destination. She races after it on foot, running through yards, over fences, into woods behind the neighborhood, and out into some clearing. She looks around and cannot find her drone anywhere. Finally, she sees it, behind a chain-linked fence with barbed wire on top. It is so close to the edge of the fence, she can reach it, but cannot pull it through the chain-link fence. She weighs the pros and cons, thinking about leaving and coming back, but she's been running after this thing and does not know where she's run to. She pulls out her phone to call for help. There's no signal wherever she is. She decides to dig under the fence. With sheer will and determined desperation, she finds a thick stick and begins digging under the fence like a rabid dog looking for a bone. With blisters aplenty, a bloodied knuckle, and a few scraped fingers, she digs enough of a hole to reach under and pull the drone back onto her side of the fence. A branch snaps behind her, and she pulls her hand back too quickly, catching the top of it on the bottom of the fence. A line of skin rips away immediately, and blood begins to pour over her hand. She grabs her hand, takes off her shirt, wraps it, and then reaches back under for her drone. After maneuvering it to fit, she pulls it through her makeshift hole at the bottom of the fence and stands up. She looks over the drone, and it's not damaged, which means it landed fine on its own. While examining it, a shiver drips down her spine, and a breath moves her hair. Shrieking with a jump away, she looks around but sees nothing. She thinks maybe it was the wind. But then her heart begins to race, seemingly out of her control. Falling to one knee, she clutches her chest. Then something steps through the fence and looms over her. She tries to look up and see what it is, but her neck will not do so. She is petrified, with no control over her body. She tries to scream, but there's no air to do so. As quickly as she is there, she is gone, and she was never, ever seen again. Thanks again for watching Short Stories with Stefan. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell your friends about new stories every week on this channel. And I'll see you next time on Short Stories with Stefan.